telling these kids to look up the gangsters? You telling the world that you are a tough guy when you get millions of dollars to put your knuckles in gloves and fight for a prize? I got an idea for you. I live in this neighborhood that's called 60s Crip. Why don't you just come join the 60s Crip? Forget Usyk. Just come to LA and be a gangster. Or go to Chicago, or go to New York, man. This is why these celebrities are weirdos, man. You telling these little kids to look up the gangsters? You've been sitting beside a white man, Eddie Hearn, and all these guys. They wear suits, man. This is why my son will never, ever wear these motherfuckers' jerseys. Nothing. This is why I don't take pictures with these weirdos. This is why I don't go to parties with these weirdos. This is, man, it is just beside me that this man who's made millions of dollars, now he want to revert back. He done made $200 million. Now he want to revert back to being a tough guy because he took one loss. One loss. This is why you don't see me at their parties, dog. I'm being honest. I done been invited to hundreds of parties in my lifetime, whether it be boxing or whether it be premieres or whether, man, anyways. You want some weirdo shit, man. And this is why we need men in our lives. He needs a 55-year-old man to go talk to him. He needs a 55, and coincidentally, I'm wearing my Deontay Wilder jersey today.
Those are the words of Fred from Barbershop Conversations, an avid Wilder fan, and he is talking about Anthony Joshua's comments he made about Nicky Barnes and BMF. And, you know, he hasn't been himself and things of that nature. He didn't really say that, but that's what he was saying. That's what he understood Joshua saying. Well, first off, Joshua was kidding. And he's saying, well, you sitting up with this white guy and these guys wear suits. Now you want to be a gangster before you took a loss. Well, I seen a guy that was angry. I seen him vent a bit to a guy that he knew, a reporter that he, you know, is cool with or whatnot. And Fred was like, hey, that's a bad thing to show being a role model, having endorsements, you know, and this is what I say to Fred. Fred has to remember that Anthony Joshua, before he started boxing, he got caught with a huge amount of marijuana in his car. So I don't get how people say Anthony Joshua is a fake. I think the problem is you got a kid that was smooth at the tongue, that got into some bad activity, street activity, that stupidly became famous and successful at boxing and made a lot of money, and this is where he's at. I think people don't know who he is or don't really knew who he was. I think Fred should do his homework on Anthony Joshua before making a statement calling him a weirdo. He's not a weirdo at all. That's exactly what he was doing and what he was about before he started the sport of boxing. He won't say that shit about Mike Tyson because he knew Mike Tyson. Fred knows Mike Tyson was into all types of shit when he was young. Okay? So the problem is with Anthony Joshua, yeah, he's been marketed right. He has a lot of promotions, a lot of endorsements, and that came from having a certain type of image. But don't get it twisted with the fact that that man had a past. Anthony Joshua is no angel. And this is what they do. When I say they, I mean Fred and the guys that really don't like Joshua. Because as you heard him say, you sit beside this white man. Okay, your thing is race then. So, because I mean, you wouldn't have made that apparent if that wasn't a problem. You sit beside this white guy. Okay, that's the problem. So you're mad because he's signed with a white promoter instead of Al Heyman or like everyone else should be or whatever. And didn't understand this guy at all. But he was just joking. He was a vet. Now, did he take that loss? Now, is he showing to take that loss bad? Not really, but at least he's showing and we're getting a rise out of Joshua. But him saying to the streets, these guys in America don't know anything about Joshua at all. See, this whole rant was about, hey, I wouldn't let my kids hang around Joshua because he's sending out the wrong message. Well, this interview wasn't for kids. He's not going on national television and saying, hey, I think you guys should do drugs. It was a joke. You took that out of context and you take that seriously. I've done that before. But at the end of the day, if you have a sense of humor, you should know that. Not just use it as an excuse. Oh, he said what? Because if we're going to do that, let's do it around the board. If we're going to sit here and try to snatch or look for things that Anthony Joshua says that may not be standard or ideal for kids, what about Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder, for one, you said I wouldn't have my boys dating this. He's talking about killing people in the ring. He was talking about killing people. You had people on your platform talking about, I hope a guy dies and hope death upon someone, right? Because you thought he was cheated or he felt he was cheated. But you follow that. You got a Wilder's jersey on, but you don't call out the things Wilder does. See, the difference between me and Fred and the rest of those cats there, I will call out everything. Everything someone does, I'll say, you know what, that shit ain't right. You know what? That shit ain't right either. And that's how it goes. That's what you're supposed to do. You're wearing a Wilder jersey, but then yet you are cool with everything that Wilder says. So it's apparent that we know where this is coming from. This is coming from someone that is a fan of Deontay Wilder, and he's looking to bash the possible opponent of Deontay Wilder, the rival of Wilder. So there you go figure. Because Wilder can't do no wrong, and I don't get it. You make up tons and tons of excuses and this, that, and the other, but then yet at the end of the day, this was the problem. That was the problem. I guarantee you, if Deontay Wilder would have said the same shit that Anthony Joshua said, you wouldn't have heard a fucking peep. That's the problem. And that tells me right there that people are not being fair and being truly honest about the things they say and about how they hold standards to anybody else. Okay, that's the problem. But anyway, I just wanted to counterpunch this video because it was sent to me. And you guys tell me what you think about Fred from Barbershop Conversations stating that Anthony Joshua should be blasted and should never said those type of things. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.